Welcome back to Talking Water with SwitchwaterSupplier.com. I'm David Easson, and as ever, joined by Graham Mann in the studio from SwitchwaterSupplier.com. And a big part of your work in the past few months has been work in the care sector, Graham, and it's something that is working for you, and it sounds like it's working for the care sector as well.
Absolutely, yes. About 3 or 4 months ago, we signed a deal with a large care provider. Put them on the platform. I think the savings coming through just from the procurement's about 190,000, which is pretty damn significant. And we have other smaller care providers that have had really good savings and refunds, and so we've got a unique partnership deal with Care England, who are a charity that support the care sector. They have about 300 members for different sizes, from one site to 20 sites to up to 300-400 sites, something like that. With the increases of up to 50% on charges, Care England have decided to bite the bullet, and we've put together a national tender for the care sector. So we've made it public on the Care England's website, put out a lot of content in the social media, and the take-up's been absolutely fantastic. It's over 350 sites so far, and other care providers are actually coming on board, sending in their bills, the majority of which haven't switched. Some have, and are taking advantage of the free desktop analysis on their water bills to see if there's any savings and refunds. And there are quite a few with savings and refunds on them. Some have got reasonable deals on their procurement, but an awful lot haven't. So they've probably gone out with brokers and not got a good deal on their charges. But yeah, it's the first in the industry. Very, very exciting time. So round one, I've made the retailers aware that this tender is going live, probably in week 2 or maybe week 3 of March, because at the moment it's all being held up by the fact that the retailers are upgrading their pricing tools, their billing systems, because of the new increases. So it takes a bit of a while for the increases to filter through and get those all ready. So we want to tender any contracts with the new data.
So it's a pretty unique idea, as you say, and it's something that's really helping a sector that really needs some help.
It does, yeah. They've been battered, to be brutally honest. There's hospices in there, dementia, Alzheimer patients, but the costs have increased. Energy's gone up, water's gone up, waste has gone up, and it's going up again. You've got the increases in minimum wage. You've got national insurance.
Finding staff as well, just to work in the sector, is really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends in the care sector, and they're having to find an extra £250,000 in increased wages.
As you do.
And it's shocking. It really is shocking. But it's, we're determined to do everything we can to help these guys reduce their costs, and doing this national tender, because we've got many more organisations on one tender, and they'll all benefit. Whether if you've got one site or 5 sites, you'll get the same price, best deal from a care provider that's putting on 50 or 100 sites.
And did the water companies, do they appreciate not just the situation, but the fact that you can go to them with that much bigger tender? That makes it much more valuable to them.
Yeah, absolutely, because it is quite innovative. Hasn't been done before in the deregulated market, so I'm quite chuffed. It was a simple idea, but we had to make the decision quick with Care England, and what they did is said, absolutely, yes, go for it. And it's all about helping their members, but it's all about helping the wider care community as well. And we made some really, we just got to do more to help and save as much as we possibly can, and we'll be focused on that. But this care sector tender is quite an exciting opportunity. There's a lot of retailers out there who are very, very interested in. In fact, one retailer said to me the other day, "I'm surprised no one else has thought about it."
Someone's got to get the first time.
Someone's got to get it in first. Yeah.
But saying that, as the care sector is one of many sectors, I mentioned there's similarities of some similar sectors you could bring this kind of large tendering to? And is it something else you're looking for in other sectors?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, I don't mind sharing it with you, on a podcast. But
Well, if you haven't done it, it's my idea. I'll take the second idea. But feel free to carry on with my idea.
Yes, absolutely. And you can do it in any sector you like. At the end of the day, it's the best way to do it. It's like England and Scotland, for example. If there's businesses out there who've got sites in England and got sites in Scotland, the margins are quite higher in Scotland, but we do separate tenders to maximise the amount of savings that we can make for customers. So it's just another idea that's really taken off, and it's got us into. We've got responses from businesses that we haven't spoken to before in the care sector. So yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting, and they're going to be pricing and giving the deals as based on the bulk tender, and then whoever wins this first round, then we won't retender anymore. They'll win, and we just get care providers that are interested in joining the tender, the final price and the final deal. That if they've switched and they've got 3 to 6 months before the end of their contract, they can just then rejoin this contract without having to go to market, because it'll all be pre-tendered. So yeah, it's exciting times.
And of course, working with care homes in the care sector, obviously you can go in and audit and see how they're using the water. The metering has to be right. The many bills, the many sites. Something that Switch Water Supply can help across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about how they use water. There's been instances where there's been huge water bills, £20,000 a year more than a benchmark site that's probably 5 miles down the road with the same amount of beds. Why is the consumption so high? We go in, and we did this on the telephone actually. So can you think of any reason why? So they had a word with the kitchen, and what they do is at the night time when the kitchen's closed, they get all the frozen food out, put it all in sinks, leave the tap running to keep it cool overnight. And that happens every day.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something that probably needs to change.
It did do instantly. But 22, I think it's £22,000 overspend for the same size care home within the group, So on average, 30 to 40%. 30 to 40% is about the average saving for most businesses, to be brutally honest. That seems to be the theme behind it. Some are more, some are less, but and some are substantially more if they go off grid and have their own independent water supply. So yeah, it's really, really interesting. So it's the Care England water test, national water tender that was launched about 5 weeks ago. So.
And successfully so. Another success for switchwatersupply.com. And Graham here. If you've liked the sound of that, savings of 30 to 40%, switchwatersupply.com is the place to go. That has been Talking Water. We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.